Bit of a cliche, but it's absolutely true. Couldn't happen to a nicer bloke. D. Beedman, we need to take a break, then we'll come back and show you the whole race all over again.
Hello, Mel Walden. In 10 News tonight, 2-hour betting delay as TAB computers overload, and of course all the colour and excitement of Cup Day. First at 5.
The extravagant, the elegant and the zany. Even the Royals got a look in on the day. Flemington put on its best face for the big day to again notch up the Melbourne Cup meeting as one of the top events on the international sporting calendar. And at 3:20, it all climaxed with the running of the 1996 Foster's Melbourne Cup.
This great race has begun. Saintly, one of the best to jump away with Arctic sent towards the inside. Skybow, Alcove, nothing like a Dane up there early. Oscar Schindler allowed to drift back a little bit early.
The much vaunted Irish horse, Oscar Schindler, was never in the race, and the heavily backed Aramis and Senator shared a similar fate. Just a few hundred metres from home, the gelding they've labelled the horse from heaven, Saintly, with devout Christian jockey Darren Beedman on board, made his move.
There is Saintly. Saintly's coming after him. Count Chevis working into the race. Then Super Slew, followed by Senator running on. Oscar Schindler struggling. Saintly hit the lead in the Melbourne Cup. He drew a length in front of nothing like a Dane. Count Chevis. Skybow running on. Saintly in front for Darren Beedman. Bart Cummings has got his 10th Melbourne Cup. Saintly's going to win the Melbourne Cup for Darren Beedman and Bart Cummings. Saintly first. Second placing goes to Count Chevis.
The win gave Cup's king Bart Cummings his 10th Melbourne Cup, and the tears told the story. He's the first trainer in the Cup's history to achieve his winning tally. Jockey Beedman was full of praise for both his trainer and creator.
He is an absolute genius with a capital G. I just can't describe how I feel. It's just, I just give all the glory to God.
The elation of the moment was evident as Beedman dismounted, and Saintly's Asian owners were also elated.
What can you say about Saintly? I can say in an Australian language, Saintly, you built.
The win qualified Bart Cummings for his own Melbourne Cup, a special gift from the VRC.
He is a nice horse. He's very relaxed, and it's a great thrill for me to be here on this 10th occasion.
And again, jockey Beedman wanted to emphasise his gratitude.
Well, I've won one Melbourne Cup, but winning the second feels twice as good. I'd just like to thank the Lord Jesus for his blessing. I really thank you, Lord.
Norm Beeman, 10 News.
As usual, Flemington came alive for the big day with a splash of colour, and not just from the roses in full bloom. The keen crowd flooded in early to jockey for position, among them Loreen Deal.
An early start in the public car park, some getting what they say are the best seats in the house.
We can see the whole track from here, you don't have to go inside.
Social sweeps were one way to pick a horse, others made their own choice.
Bart Cummings, sentimental favourite, let's hope so.
Grey shot.
And some will do anything for a bet.
I have to wear this dress to the Melbourne Cup and my old man will give me $50.
Fortunately for race organisers and punters, the Weather Bureau was right. Today's mainly fine conditions, a far cry from the rain of last year, guaranteeing a huge turnout. Most punters heeded the warnings and took the train to Flemington. In the members' car park, the rollers were dusted off and the talk was of what to eat.
Well, we had oysters on Saturday, but seeing the shops all closed yesterday, we didn't. So just the general sandwiches and the easier things to handle.
And what's on show in the public car park.
I know it's all 4 Father Christmases walking through there, which you wouldn't normally get at Royal Ascot. So that's quite nice.
Cup Day is known for its fun fashions, and this year was no exception.
Hi-ho, 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 it's up the cup we go.
Some hats were head and shoulders above the rest, others had that winning feeling. But despite all the frivolity, the serious fashion fillies still showed their style. In the betting ring, the bookies were offering the odds.
5 to 1 Oscar.
But others, unsure of their best bet, brought their own. Radio 3AW could have used the horse effects. They were thrown off the course following comments made by Neil Mitchell. 3AW says the VRC has overreacted.
I don't think they've given us the opportunity to properly present our side. I think they've overreacted.
But for those who were allowed in, the 1996 Melbourne Cup was a great day. Loreen Deal, 10 News.
And on the biggest betting day on the Australian racing calendar, yet another embarrassing TAB computer malfunction. This time computers went into overload, causing many punters a 2-hour delay in placing their one bet of the year.
Just a complete debacle, really.
It's the day the TAB pulls in millions of dollars, but many angry punters couldn't even make it to the register when TAB computers around Victoria shut down.
Look at the queues, you know, unbelievable.
At this South Melbourne outlet, some had to wait for nearly 2 hours before computers were fixed, while at other branches computers were repaired, only to break down an hour later.
Harassed, in one word. Hot and agitated, I think.
Pathetic.
After missing the early races, some punters gave up waiting altogether.
What can you do?
The TAB was expecting to take about $42 million in bets. However, the breakdown has cost it a small fortune.
We've been waiting for an hour and a half, and unbelievable happens every year.
By 2:30, all TAB agencies were operational. Telephone betting and TAB on course were not affected. Melissa Aston, 10 News.
Now meet Owen Lawler, 85 years old and a genuine Melbourne Cup fanatic. Owen has seen every one of the past 70 Melbourne Cups and again this year made the annual pilgrimage from his Token Wall home.
While the sights in the crowd may have dramatically changed over the past 7 decades, the thrill of the Melbourne Cup Day hasn't diminished for Owen Lawler. Sheer determination from the 85-year-old has seen him trek from his Murray River stud every year since he was 15.
Becomes a history. I'm proud to be associated with in racing. I've always raced horses the last 48 years.
One of the many highlights Mr. Lawler has witnessed was Think Big's back-to-back wins in 1974 and 75, with Harry White on board. Over the years, Mr. Lawler has seen some of the world's greatest horses in action here at Flemington. But he says without a doubt, Phar Lap stands head and shoulders above the rest. He saw the legendary Phar Lap race on 3 occasions.
It was unnatural. The way he had sort of a slow gallop. But he had a stride, probably a little half as long ago as the average horse.
As for jockeys, Mr. Lawler is a big fan of Roy Higgins, who rode Light Fingers in the 65 Cup. Today, Mr. Lawler was on the money with his tip.
Out of Doremus and St. I think it'll be close.
But he admits not being the most successful Cup punter.
I might have got about 15 or 16 out of 70.
James Sutherland, 10 News.
The rest of the news this Cup Day coming up.
Including a 69-year-old tourist's ordeal lost in the bush. And later, the heartbreak of a Cup Day scratching.